Good morning, peoples. I wanted to do another little video on principled politics because I really like this subject and it got a decent amount of views. So let's talk about it again. Um, so, in order to have principled politics, um, I feel like you kind of need to have a literal framework of politics, right? Like the political compass. It doesn't have to be the political compass, but something very much like it, where you have a left wing and a right wing. Uh, Sorry if that doesn't match the right side of the video. And then the up and down, which again is um, anarchy and authoritarian, like at the bottom and top. So, in order for you to get anything that you want, right? Like, let's say an ethno state, right? On the far right here, you need to decide how, as in like what mechanisms, what laws, what kind of enforcement you're going to use to get your ethno state, right? Um, and I think the end, right, is already immoral, right? But maybe you could try to pick more moral ways to get, or like more better means to your end, right? And it can help you understand if someone's just a racist or a racist fascist. So um, you could incentivize people to leave the country, or you could go full police state and kind of anything in between, right? And there's other options too, by rounding people up, but I don't want to put that in a short. I feel like it's probably not a good idea because it's not a good idea in general. So let's pick another topic over here on the left. Let's say socialized healthcare. Right. So if we want some socialized healthcare, right, we can go burn down all of the establishment of healthcare right now and try to start from scratch, kind of like anarchy, and then rebuild it. Or even we could use more government means to really use force and maybe use the government to go after CEOs specifically, kind of going more towards the authoritarian. So, like, I've mentioned this before, and maybe you guys caught it, maybe you guys didn't, where if you go too high up on the spectrum, or too far left, you might actually pop out on the opposite end. Because things get a little mirrored when you go too far off the chart. So authoritarianism might start to look like anarchy when you get too authoritarian. And if you get too anarchistic, I don't think I can say that word. I don't even know how to say it. Get too much anarchy. If you go too low, it just opens up for a really strong authoritarian, right? Because there's no enforcement mechanism of the government by and for the people, or by and for fucking anything, that you just leave a power grab. So stepping back a little bit, we get back to socialized healthcare. How do we not be too authoritarian or violent about getting our end, right, with our means? We can use incentives, and incentives like offering free college to doctors and nurses, making it illegal to sell drugs, like pharmaceutical drugs, to private companies for them to turn a profit, right? It belongs to the government, maybe on campuses and universities, maybe even by the universities, run by the people and funded by the people. And therefore you have socialized medicine, because you're making the incentives, and your enforcement mechanism is the incentive to you get free college. Maybe the universities get more funding if they come up with better pharmaceutical drugs, and we don't need to just use force, right? This is a really short and seemingly a little bit half-baked. I don't like the amount of time that I'm giving this. I'm trying to do it quickly, and I feel like I'm not doing a great job. But there's the like a peephole view of how you take a couple topics like that and measure how you're going to get there. And that's what you need to do in politics if you want to make policy, or if you want to even begin to make policy. You need to figure out how am I going about it, right? How am I getting there? Not just this is what I want. And I feel like it's not just the right or just the like. Kind of everyone's missing a lot of that right now. Is critical thinking and literally building up your politics to figure out what you think and how you want to get there. So think it through. If you have any topics, subjects that you want me to try to apply this to and better, please leave that in a comment down below, and I'll see what I can do. Have a good day.